Can you hear me? Can you hear them? Let me know what your audio is like. Hi, Andy. We'll get it in. Andy, before you go, let me know what audio is coming through. Can you hear what I'm streaming and can you hear me? Fine. Yeah, I woke up this morning and this was playing and I told my mom that I wouldn't cause a bunch of fucking drama and fights and all that shit on social media while all this stuff was going on. I wouldn't talk shit and I wouldn't be that guy. So I don't know. This is just sort of sitting here. I'm doing minimal commentary. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. A lot of devoted anti-fascists there with matching shields. Also, I couldn't resist the chance to use this name for this video. Live streaming a live stream protesting a protest about a protest. No thoughts on the anti-fascists? Oh, there we go. Comments coming through. Yes. Um, this is in New York City, and this is an anti-rally protest. That's all I know. I assume that it's some anti-fascists, some some Black Lives Matter white kids, and they're protesting the Trump rally last week. But I'm not sure. We're all just sort of we're all tuning in at the same time. Nah, my mom never had to tell me to eat my vegetables. I always generally ate everything except for cottage cheese because what the fuck is up with that texture? Yes, the streamception. So, like I just said a minute ago, I'm trying to do minimal commentary. For one, because I told my mom I wouldn't cause drama, and for two, because that's the only reason I have. What do you guys think about these anti-fascists? United against racism, fascism, New York City. I think that those are good things to be united against. Certainly nobody likes racism or fascism. At least I haven't met anyone who claims to like those things. Uh-oh. Here we go. But depends on if you know what those things mean. Mike says, interesting how the anti-fascists are the most fascist and the most tolerant are the least tolerant. Mike. Out of Mike's mouth, not mine. You know, Mike brings up a good point, though. The irony. I wonder what they're chanting. Can you guys hear the noise or the? Can you guys hear the audio from the live stream when I just turned it on now? I have a drum. I do like the drum. That dude's getting it. You don't know the definition of fascism, and it's not part of your daily vocab because of your white fucking privilege. You white privileged white blonde privileged bitch. You need to vote to donate money to Black Lives Matter. Um, and silence is violence. Can you guys hear the audio from the live stream, or just me? I just typed in the comments the first result on a Google search. I swear to God, that definition has changed since the last time that I searched it too. They keep changing these definitions. How's a motherfucker supposed to keep up? You and me both, Mike. You and me both. Well, you know that I had to look it up um, for things like this. You never want to answer questions like this from the hip because that's exactly when somebody's gonna be like, "Aha, I told you." So yeah, I don't do those traps. I don't do unnecessarily defining when requested. I don't tell girls if they look fat in that because it's a trap. The answer is yes, they do, and they already know it. You're either a jerk or a liar, no matter how you answer that. I don't guess ages for girls either because that's another trap. You're either not you're either lying or you're a dick or somebody told you. It would be my pleasure. 1 minute. Cottage cheese has the texture of throw up. It's the only food that I know of, that I'm aware of, that has the texture of throw up going down, except for Jello with fruit chunks in it. That's also got super questionable texture. Um, unless they're mandarin oranges, because I really love mandarin oranges. But yeah, cottage cheese and Jello with the fruit in it, those textures are all wrong. Um, fuck some black licorice. I do love Hawaiian pizza though. Fascism is whatever you want to call fascism. And see, here's where we get into splicing definitions because classic liberalism and progressive liberalism are vastly different things. I consider myself very much a classic liberal and very much not a progressive. No, oatmeal is not. No, oatmeal's got a consistent texture. If you made it right, your oatmeal should have a consistent texture. It shouldn't be like liquidy and then chunky and then liquidy and then chunky. Also, it should taste like apples and cinnamon. 3 packets of the instant oatmeal, apples and cinnamon. Put in hot water, stir it up, microwave that bitch for a minute. You're good to go. You're just eating the wrong kind of oatmeal. Oh shit. They got the bike gang out. Oh fuck, there's a black dude. That's the first black dude I've seen this whole time. You might be malnourished if you're not getting nutritious breakfast. There's a link. Anybody who wants to join is welcome to join. You can tell me what you think about this. You can talk about whatever the fuck you want. Really don't have anything this morning except for um, this weirdness I stumbled into. So once again, we can just roll this into an open stream if anyone cares to join. If not, we can smoke cigs in the garage for a little bit longer. But I, on my own, am starting to lose a little bit of interest in this. You don't like my political videos? It's basically what's on my mind. It's an interesting time in politics. It's a super interesting time in politics. Type will always be there. Um, whatever other bullshit I talk about will always be there. But right now, and for the last few months, and then for the next month, I don't know. We'll see. At least the next 2 weeks, shit's really interesting and historic. So it's basically what I'm paying attention to, and so it's what I spew. Um, I get that everybody's tired of popping up in YouTube and seeing more political bullshit. I am too, but it's just the times that we're living in. Oh, I got some takers. All right. Well, I'm used to hearing from the naysayers, which is to be expected. Um, and also, I get a lot more views. Well, let's look at the statistics real quick. I get more views on my typology videos. Yeah, I get easily twice as many views on the type videos as I do on the non-type videos straight out the gate. And sometimes when I do political shit, it's almost out of need or necessity. I don't know what it is, but the impulse to address something. Um, but there's shit going on faster than can keep up with it. As soon as it goes up, people are getting scrubbed down, and it's I'd be lying if I said I knew what the fuck is going on. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. It appears to be anti-fascists, at least. The only one I've seen so far said something like "Stop racism, stop fascism." Mm-hmm. SETI, double masculine, um, consume, play, sleep, blast. Hold on, I'm gonna go turn this heater off real quick. Yes. What can I say? I used to. Now I just like do dad shit, like sit in my garage and smoke cigarettes and drink um, naturally essenced sparkling water because it's got less sugar, and refresh to check my investments every few minutes on my cell phone. That's the sort of shit I do now. Now I just ooze white dad. I ooze Hank Hill or something. What type is your 14-year-old? Fiddlesticks, you need a more gender specific name. What's your type? I don't even know what that means. Does that mean you're bi? I think you're bi. Um, like I said, back this sort of ties into the being a middle-aged dad and sitting in my garage and smoking cigarettes and drinking carbonated beverages with no sugar or artificial sweeteners and checking my investments every few minutes on my cell phone. Um, I'm from the era of straight, gay, and bisexual. Anything else, and you've lost me. You stop it. Cottage cheese never made anyone more masculine. A little bit of dad bod ain't bad. Some chicks dig the fuck out of dad bod. They like it way better than super buff. Welcome, T. Um, what they're doing right now in New York City is they're, I believe, you're only tuning in like 15 minutes behind me. I believe this is a protesting protests um, by what looks like the anti-fascists and the BLMs. At least they're the only gang I know that walks pigeon-toed and carries matching black shields. T, do you have any thoughts on the protest? Conservatives sounds like dog whistle for fascism. Well, apparently I'm not whistling well today. Oh, see, my last drink is here. Perrier Fusions. God, I'm such a fucking middle-aged white guy now. I better hurry up and smoke something to make me feel younger. Light it with the torch. I think so. But like I said at the beginning of this, I'm trying not to have too much divisive, combative commentary. I told my mom yesterday I'd I'd stay chill and not create ripples on the internet. And I'm a man of my words, even though I think my mom's concerns are mm, probably warranted. Well, you are, and this is open for anybody who wants to jump in on mic or on video. I've got no place to take this live stream, so anybody's welcome to come blab thoughts at me. My shirt? You talking shit on my shirt? What the fuck's wrong with my shirt? Hater. Let's see your shirt. I bet your shirt's stupid as fuck. My shirt's awesome. I don't even know where it came from. I just found it in the closet. Oh, I will keep the torch. I won't burn my shirt though. I've been smoking things for far too long to accidentally burn myself lighting a cigarette. Yes, they do. Hey, this is my Antifa shirt. That is what I've heard too. It's got your vitamin D. It's got your fuck, what's that shit called? It's got vitamin D for sure. It's got vitamin C. It's basically got all the vitamins. It's got protein. It's got calcium. It's got uh, man. If Katie was still here, Katie, are you still here? You need to tell me what that shit is. That it's got hydrochloroquine in it, which we all know hydrochloroquine works. But you've got to get it through indirect sources like what Atomic here said. That's how you survive COVID. Is it a black cat shirt? Ah, right on. Yeah, he and I see eye to eye 95% of the way, and then that last 5% of things, it just. I never knew his name was Ian though. Where's he been? Has he been doing shit? Can you do that? Yes. Um, but I need to see this. But yeah, all the health benefits are still there. Then I'll die. Give me the vaccine instead. Becomes a cottage cheese and getting shot up with that shit. Give me the hot shot. I'm not eating cottage cheese. You know what? I'm lying. I can eat cottage cheese if I absolutely need to, but one thing that I cannot consume is V8. Like the old school regular V8, not V8 Splash. I can drink V8 Splash all day long, but V8, oh, can't do it. I had an ex-girlfriend who she's German. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but she liked V8, and anytime I ever got sick, she'd say, "Here, have V8. You need V8. This is healthy. This will make you better." And I'm telling you, I can drink half a like 8-ounce can of V8, and it's not going to go down anymore. It's going to start coming up. Oh yeah, ivermectin's in there too. It's all in there. Everything you need is in there. If you just so happen to fall into the demographic of people who are at risk for COVID, which is the already dying, then you need to eat some pussy. What is your shirt? I actually only have one warning. Um, I had a video on the 17th letter of the alphabet from a while back. And after it had been up for like 2 months, they decided to pull it and hit it with a warning for bullying and cyberbullying and harassment. Apparently, I was harassing I don't know, Hillary Clinton or somebody. I did appeal it. I did a nice appeal. I went through their um, I went to YouTube's community whatever censorship policies, and that section on bullying and harassment. I addressed each paragraph in my appeal. I said it does not qualify here, it does not qualify here, it does not qualify here, and appeal. And they were instantly back with a no, you can't. This is not appealable, or your appeal has been rejected. Um, if you are interested in seeing that video, go to my BitChute page. I'll link it here real quick. You got to do what you got to do to survive the COVID. So, hmm. Well, she's not. Um, I don't. Whatever you watch with her, she's not on flow state as much as really she should be. We should do more stuff. Um, but she is very much an FI dom. She's just not a maniac with it. I dig chicks that dig chicks too. Just saying. That's called tribbing. 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 This this live stream's really gotten derailed from its original topic. What's up, Benjamin? Okay, there's the link to the video that got me my one warning. If I get another warning or something within the like next 3 months or some shit, then this one retroactively activates and I get dinged with two. Um, Anthrax, good morning. Benjamin, good morning. Fellas, I'm going to extend the invite again because so far I've had no takers. Um, but if anybody wants to jump in here, you're more than welcome to, on mic or on cam. Benjamin, this is mostly at you, since you do shit like this. No pressure, bro. But anyone's welcome to join if they have thoughts or not. I got to check my investments again real quick. Un momento. I have fully turned into my dad, by the way. What are you doing? Checking the market. Me too now. Well, okay. That dig chicks too, as well. We can all dig chicks together. All three or four or five of us. We can all dig chicks together. That's what I'm getting at. And reproduction is counterproductive to things. It's a weird time. The thing is, there are things to protest, and I'm trying to keep it a little light without digging down into my beliefs, but there are for sure things to protest. It's just, yeah, a lot of the protests are absurd. Are you Upton plates? What are you? Are you an ISTP? I'm gonna guess ISTP. I love ISTPs. I try to keep several ISTPs around all the time. Um, and fuck, protest is the only thing in New York. You're not even allowed to leave the house unless you're protesting, I don't think. Hmm. I've seen that dude around. I haven't paid much attention. I don't know if I think that he's like, I don't know what to think about him, but he sure does get to be everywhere. Like he's in all the newspaper pictures. You're not wrong. Mike Byrne is not wrong. Are free to do what they want. It's just not gonna. I'm not participating in it. Hmm. I don't know. Do chicks dig guys that dig guys too? Is Upton plates a weightlifting reference? Because if it's a weightlifting reference, I'd be shocked if you were an LII. I agree. T says there's definitely things to protest, but people have been in this idle place a long time, which is a large and long conversation. But the restlessness of people in general is real, very much so. And I don't think that it's accidental. I mean, I think that it's manufactured. I think a lot of this stuff is manufactured. I think the restlessness is. I think the conflict is. I think the economics of the Rona and the lockdowns are. Um, we're watching globally one of the biggest wealth consolidations. I mean, maybe in history. Over the last year, the amount of money that's gone from the middle class, even the upper class, to the very tip top 1% of 1% is staggering. You've got everything smaller than Walmart, Target, everything's just plummeting. But these mega fucking corporations are taking over market share left and right. It's actually very startling if you pay attention to it from that perspective, which I do. Um, I've got an economics degree. I worked for 7 or 8 years as a commercial loan officer. I look at the world through an economic lens. And so from where I'm sitting, it looks like one big racket. I mean, just a huge fucking racket for the 1% of 1%, which is why I canceling my services as fast as I can. I just uninstalled Twitter. I am I canceled Audible. don't have anything through Amazon, and I haven't for some time. And actually, over Christmas, I requested people not order me anything from Amazon. I think Amazon's one of the worst. Canceled Netflix, you know, all the things. That makes two of us fiddlesticks. There's some dude who's been on the front page of a lot of news articles lately from the Trump rally, and he's got like he's all tatted up, and he's got like buffalo horns on and face paint. You'll know who I'm talking about if you come across him. Oh my God, Yuri's the man. Huh, that's interesting. Um, Eat eggs. If you, and this is, I used, I did this when I lifted and when I used to tweak a bit because an egg, if you hard boil an egg, you get more protein packed into 2 bites and 20 cents than anything else. So um, eat hard boiled eggs. Swear to God, after you lift, boil 2 eggs, force yourself to eat them. You'll have the protein. You're golden. As far as net worth, Elon's money is really tied up in stock options, which I trust more. I trust a lot because his liquid, um, his liquidity is directly. Let me rephrase that. He has poor liquidity. Elon Musk does not have cash on hand, not like a lot of these other billionaires. What he does have is he's got stock options in the companies that he's running. That's a really good sign for CEO performance. It makes me think better of him and trust his companies more. Um, Bezos is, and he's just less of a crook. I quit being a loan officer. I quit the job at the bank to take a sales position, and this was in 2017, beginning of 2017. I was ready for an industry change. I was ready for a geography and an industry change. I and in the meantime, so I quit the banking job, and I had a sales position here in Kansas City that I was going to move back for. But in between quitting the bank and moving to Kansas City, I wanted to stay in Pratt where I was living for the rest of the semester until the summer, so my daughter could finish out the semester at the school she was at. And during that time period, I got raided by the sheriffs. And Mike, I think that you're familiar with at least the bones of that story from there. Yeah. Well, now that I'm a felon, I banks don't hire felons. That's not a thing that happens. So being a loan officer is off the table permanently. It is not something I would ever want to do again, anyways. I hated banking. It was a soul crushing, um, over-regulated, saturated industry. I did not like it at all. I didn't realize how much I hated it until I left because I was making good money. Um, but Yeah, so yeah, I mean, do I miss the money? Yes. Would I take the job back? No, I would not get back into the industry. I did like having the option available, which I don't as a felon, but whatever. I guess that's the cosmos's way of telling me to get out of this bullshit. I still have my Twitter account. I just uninstalled the app. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Find a local business to support. Yeah, we did. I mean, we got ourselves here through um, laziness and convenience. We sold ourselves to China one knickknack at a time, and we're still selling ourselves. And I'm guilty of this just as well. I mean, I've got Facebook. I'm on YouTube right now, obviously. Um, I did just uninstall Twitter, but whatever. I'm just as guilty as everybody else, but we sell ourselves every fucking second um, to to fuck everybody. Um, what and it gets I mean it's worse than that for most people. I went to Best Buy last week, and I don't know when the last time any of you guys have been to Best Buy is. It had been several years for me. Um, I did not buy anything, of course, because well, they're a big box mega retailer, and two, they're very forward with their coronavirus draconian oversight bullshit, which regardless of what you think about the virus or the panic or any of that shit, like I'll be god fucking damned if the door greeter at Best Buy is my boss. I'll be god fucking damned if the door greeter at Walmart became some authority. If the gas station clerk is gonna tell me what the fuck to do. No, give me my goddamn cigarettes, ring me up. Um, that's how I feel about that shit. And so when I see all the little stickers on the floor telling you where to stand, and I hear the announcements over the intercom telling you how to be, and when there's a guy right inside the door, right there, posted up with a box of fucking masks, like, "Hi, do you have a mask? You need to wear a mask in here." I'm like, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. So I take a mask, I hook it on one ear, and I walk past him, and I wear it like that the rest of the fucking time. I don't buy anything there. I take pictures of the things I'm interested in, and I'll figure out how to get them later if I want them. But that's just me. But in there, um, since last time I'd been there, they've blown the fuck up out of the smart home section, and not only is it far expanded, but it's packed. It's packed. This section is packed with people who can't wait to spend their own money on their future digital prison, and they have no idea. Half of them probably, most of them probably wouldn't even care. I could try to tell them, hey, you should check out China's social credit score. You should check out what China's doing with the all the smart tech, and see if these products are part of the future that you want for yourself, knowing that this is the direction they were designed for you. Um, you're buying your own prison with this shit, or at best, you're getting a cool fucking gadget that can tell you uh, how to make spinach dip when you ask it. Hey Siri, how do I make spinach dip? Uh, you sell away all your freedoms and autonomy for the sake of convenience. Then you take that spinach, you shove it up your fucking ass. I'm gonna have to mute this. A lot of guys like girls who like girls, but I don't relate. I had an ex who was bi and she'd watch swimsuit contests and be more into it than me. It's too weird. Well, I haven't had that experience. In my experience, most of the girls, I really don't know. I don't think I've probably met one who I think is straight up equally bisexual. At least in my experience and in my reference, it's like they're straight, but they they can swing around um, bi if the occasion calls for it. I'm getting kind of behind these comments. Hi, and I vortex, bro. Gaston eats so many hard-boiled eggs. I I have nothing further to add. It seems like you. Yes, yes. And guess what type Gaston is? You know, Fiddlesticks. You already fucking know. You already know what type Gaston is. Yeah, Elon's a weirdo. Um, but he's like my favorite weirdo. Uh, hold on. Benjamin, there's the StreamYard link. Anybody else who wants to jump in is welcome to as well. He is very interesting. He's very interesting to watch. Good for your dad. Growing up, that would have been a pain in the ass. I would not have understood it. Now, I understand the shit out of it. Um, I don't make my daughter boycott things with me. I just won't spend my money places. And like she had TikTok. I bribed my daughter $30 to uninstall TikTok from her phone. So that's how we boycott TikTok. I had no idea about Disney though until just recently. Um, what did your dad say about Disney when you were growing up? Why were you boycotting Disney? That's interesting. Goodbye, John. And thank you for the prayers. Um, well, it's not so much my experience as it is other people's experience. You should look at the uh, look up China's social credit score if you're not familiar with it, and watch how they use smart technology, facial recognition, all that stuff to basically trap people in a prison. It's very dystopian and creepy. In my own personal experience, I haven't had any, um, except for what we've all had with all the tech censorship. Um, well, that's a lie. I mean, the you can see the makings of um, draconian or overlords in how these tech companies behave. I have had um, pictures show up on my phone that I didn't take in Messenger, actually. Um, and people I've talked to have said that that's kind of a shot across the bow. If you're doing something, they'll take a selfie of you. And it was in the sent folder, in my Messenger sent folder, is where I found it. It wasn't in my camera. It wasn't anywhere else but in the sent folder. And there was no Messenger chat that I had sent this picture to. It was just in that folder. Um, and I mean, we've all had things happen where we talk about this or that or search this or that, and then the next day we're getting ads for it. Um, one thing in particular, my last job, um, one of the things we had to do for QC was take samples of the concrete and do compression strength tests. And so you pour it's a 2-inch diameter by 6-inch height cylinder of concrete, and you put them in a machine and basically you just crush them, and then you record the weight that they break at. Um, well, when I first started, the very first day I did the crushing machine, when those things break, they pop. They're loud. Sounds like a gunshot. The very next day, I had Facebook advertising holsters to me, which is interesting because I'm a felon. I haven't had a gun in 2.5, 3 years prior to this. So, Johnny, what's going on, boss? Somebody came in here just a minute ago and joined me, and then I was on a ramble and they left. I feel bad. Whoever that was, you're welcome to come back, and I will stop my ramble. I didn't mean to be rude. I was just on one. Fuck. I will deny that. That never happened. You know what? That's what I get for not using the torch. Yeah, you might be onto something here. No, I bribed her to delete TikTok because she's my only daughter and I'm a doting father and she's that spoiled. Well, you probably had siblings. See, she doesn't have any siblings. I really don't ever get angry at her. The I haven't been angry at her in years. I mean, the last time I've been angry at her that I can remember since we moved into this house, and it's been almost a year, was when she and Katie's daughter they got in my closet and they stole my Nutella. I was fucking pissed. I had my own jar of Nutella in the closet in the top corner. That was mine. I put it up there so no little snot-nosed kids could fuck it up or eat it or stick their boogery ass fingers in it. And I was asleep. I don't know if it was. I think it was a nap. I was or whatever. I woke up, but you know when you wake up and you want something? I woke up and I wanted Nutella. And I knew where the fucking Nutella was, so I went to get the Nutella, and it was gone. The whole goddamn tub was gone. And this is a Sam's Club size tub of fucking Nutella. I was irate. They're like people in the Disney parks and the whole sex scene. Uh, um, he wanted them to ban gay people. I'm sorry, but that's funny. Like, how would you know? Is there a little questionnaire? Um, yeah, the whole sex scenes and movie thing. I didn't treat it with any like. I just thought it was like bullshit. Like whatever. Haha. Oh yeah, look at that coincidence. It says sex there. Until I got older and realized how much of a how much propaganda and psychological conditioning was in Disney. Disney's fucking fascinating. He's a Mason. He's in the CIA. Um, it's a very insidious company, and I I grew up on Disney movies. My dad and his side of the family is from LA, and so they grew up going to that park. And then when I was a little kid, my dad's parents, um, we spent the night at my dad's parents a lot growing up when we were kids. And he would buy every time a Disney movie came out, he'd buy it the minute it came on the video. And so we go over there and spend the night, and watch the newest Disney movie, and eat ice cream. That was his thing. We could have as much ice cream as we wanted, um, and stay up late and watch Disney movies. And it was great. I had no idea the sort of, you know, I still don't know what kind of programming and shit was in it in those Disney movies. But on that note, I do now not really support Disney. I also don't really try to go around. I also don't try to boycott it or anything just because it's too big. We do have Disney Plus. You know, can't can't lie to you guys. We do have Disney Plus, but I'm not paying for it. We're scumbagging off someone else's account, so that's how I justify it. That is somebody called Polish American Brotherhood. I dropped a link in the live chat earlier. I sort of forgot it was even up. I might you guys still watching it? Or I'll pull it down. Yeah, me too. But the Longview stuff is interesting and it's worth talking about. Even if people do get irritated. People don't want to hear about that shit because they don't want to deal with it. Well, no, we're both divorced. Uh, are you a CNA? You know what? I don't know because they're about to kill the Parlor servers. Twitter just did another purge. Get on Telegram. Download the Telegram app and find channels to follow. Telegram is still it's not as user friendly as some of the other platforms, but it really is like it's pretty dope. You should get on Telegram. And then when you get on Telegram, leave a comment in this video. Don't tell me in the chat. Leave an actual comment on this video, and I'll drop some links to some cool Telegram shit. Maybe I'll start a channel or however. I have never thought about it. Oh, back on this one. Also, the Epoch Times. I don't know a lot about them, but my impression is good. Um, I've never thought about Walt Disney's type. I have no idea. I doubt he is in real life. I'm sure that he presents that way, but I bet he's something with more TE. Um, so yes, I mean, you're treating this like it was an isolated incident. And the fact of the matter is it wasn't. It was just one I mentioned out of a whole series, a whole slew of times when I've mentioned this or that to somebody, and then next thing I know, Facebook is advertising it to me. Um, there is another explanation if it's a one off. There's another explanation if it's a two off or a three off, but it's not. Everybody knows uh, this shit monitors you, and that's how you get a lot of these ads. I feel it's best to avoid conspiracy when possible and pursue it when it is not. Um, well, I mean, that's the balancing point that conspiracy theory is. At some point, your your avoidance of conspiracy theories just becomes another false bias that you have walking into it. Avoiding conspiracy theory possibilities doesn't make you more objective. It doesn't increase your accuracy. It blinds you to. I mean, it distorts the way that you're observing the phenomena at hand. You should not. have any feeling towards or opposed to conspiracy theories, really. Ideally, I have a strong bent towards them. And I have that because it's been my experience that the official narrative is never true. Um, Experiment with your own app. Messenger, Facebook Messenger is the worst one. Experiment with Facebook Messenger. Uninstall it, reinstall it, uninstall it, and talk about something out of the ordinary a lot by your phone. Then reinstall it, talk about something a lot that's marketable. See if it changes. Experiment on your own. Um, but yeah, trying to avoid conspiracy theories doesn't make you more objective or more accurate. It makes you more biased. And it's not like any of these tech apps has any sort of a track record of integrity, honesty, privacy. Um, yeah, it's just they've lost all credibility in those realms completely. It's illogical to give them the benefit of the doubt anymore. Um, so I don't. Your dad and I have different views. I'm pretty. I don't have a dog in the gay fight at all. Like, but I do not want to normalize pedophilia, which is why I canceled my Netflix subscription over the cuties thing. Not because I think cuties is gonna get less views or a lot of people say, oh, you know, the more attention you get, you're giving it attention, and now you're talking about it, and more people will see it. I don't care how many people see it. Everybody can see it for all I give a fuck. It's already out there. What I don't want is I don't want that shit normalized as part of our culture. And I don't want the next cuties being made. Uh, they auditioned, what, 450 girls for that? 450 prepubescent girls had to fucking twerk all over the stage while their cameras straight up their crotch. It's obscene. Um, Anyways, I relate to your dad's sentiment without the specifics. I guess is where I'm going. Um, this is going to shock you. I don't have any. I have not paid any attention to football in, well, this year for sure, which is, you know, from Kansas City. You'd think I would. I did last year some. Um, and the year before that, but basically when I got divorced, I quit being really any sort of a devoted sports fan. Um, I got When I got divorced, my daughter was 2. I got custody of her, and it it really altered my ability to watch sports games. She didn't like it when I watched sport games because I yelled at the TV. I also quit playing video games. She didn't like it when I played video games because I'd yell at the TV. So I don't have any Super Bowl picks. I probably won't even watch it, to be completely honest. I've never been on Signal. I'm kind of tired of like chasing apps. If you think about Walt Disney from not the perspective of the nice guy who invented Mickey Mouse, but from the perspective of this dude created a fucking media empire in his lifetime. Like the amount of TE that takes and expansiveness. I don't think he's an NF. I don't think he's an SF. I think he's got TE way up there. I think he's a cutthroat fucking businessman. He's a businessman before he's a cartoonist. Um, Again, I see why everybody's throwing out these suggestions. I will bet you, I'll bet you that I disagree. I just, I don't see, I don't see any sort of, um, I don't see a feeler. I don't see anybody with less than 3D TE becoming such a business mogul. So you've got your TE DOMs, your TE seconds, your TE fifth and sixth potentially. But I got to think you've got ego TE to do that. No, not really. It's just degrees. But seriously, if anybody's not familiar with China and how they're implementing smart technology and social credit scores and attaching it, you got to look it up. Um, and you'll find, I mean, they've got cameras everywhere with AI and facial recognition software that activate the doors to buildings. The system has to recognize you to get into a door, including your own home. Um, your ability to ride the bus is all tied to this. Your entire digital ID is constantly tracked and monitored by the AI system and facial recognition, um, including how it ties into your social credit score. Now, your social credit score is how good of a citizen you are, and how good of a citizen you are directly affects whether you're allowed to ride the bus, allowed to fly on a plane. You have to have a good social credit score to be able to fly outside the country for sure. Um, you lose points by doing all sorts of things. If you tweet the wrong sentiment, if you cross the street, if you jaywalk across the street, if you whatever, all these things lower your social credit score. If you put too much booze in your cart at a shopping trip, it can ding your social credit score. If you don't pay your bills on time, it gets very, um, very invasive. Like I said, it's watching what you buy at the grocery store. So if you buy booze too regularly, ding. If you buy a bunch of healthy food, that's going to help. If you associate with people who have bad social credit scores, it will lower your social credit score. So you get social pariahs. I would be a bad social credit score. I already am a bad social credit score. I'm a registered drug offender with the KBI. I have to register every 3 months because I'm a convicted drug dealer. So just by you guys watching me right now would ding your social credit score. Um, and anybody who interacted with me directly, that would certainly ding their social credit score. Now it gets worse than that too. And most of the stuff you find on YouTube or just at the end of a Google isn't going to, I guess that's over, isn't going to explain this to you. But China's still got the one child policy with some exceptions. But then they got skewed because they had way too many boys, not enough girls. So the way the one child policy works is you're allowed one child Unless your first child is a girl, then you can have a second child. So if first child's a boy, you're stuck at one. If first child's a girl, you can have a second one. Um, but they've got they've got this smart technology synced up to each woman's menstrual cycle. So the AI system knows if you miss your period, and then it will know if you've missed a few of them, and they come and swoop pregnant women up who are not allowed to have any more kids, and they do forced abortions, and they're extremely uh, brutal. They pick these women up, throw them in vans, take them to centers where there's a bunch of other women who have been kidnapped for forced abortions, and then they do the forced abortion, and then after they're done, they put the baby in a bucket in bed with the mom and just leave them there, or in a bucket on the floor by the bed, or just on the bed. It's incredibly cruel and disgusting. If you're if you want to know more, look up. Fuck. If you want to know more, look up Fall Cabal, sequel to Fall of the Cabal, Part 6. Sequel to Fall of the Cabal, Part 6 on BitChute, and it'll tell you all about it. I'm not squeamish or sensitive, and I watched about 3 seconds of it and then closed my eyes and waited for that shit to end. It's brutal. Um, so that is what the World Economic Forum and China and our globalist overlords like to roll out across the globe. Thank you, thank you. I don't know, but mine didn't like it either. You hog up the TV, you yell at it, you don't pay attention to them, and it can go on forever. I don't know what that was in reference to. The other thing about video games is that I know it's with girlfriends or wives. Yeah, if I say, okay, I'm almost done 1 second, it doesn't matter if I mean it. It's not going to be just another second. Like, I'm not almost done. Yeah, my I've always been politically minded to an extent, um, but that really skyrocketed for me after I had my little experience with the criminal justice system and how fucked up it is. When I got out, I was pretty determined to try and do what I could to have some impact on that blight that is our criminal justice system, which basically has involved me. I just donated again for the 2021 calendar year. In the little comments description box of all my videos, one of my standard blurbs is that a portion of the proceeds from Flow State goes to the Drug Policy Alliance. Um, I donate to that. I don't trust charities. I don't like charities. I do like this one. I do donate to it. Um, I mean, Flow State doesn't really have any revenue, so it's not like they're getting rich off me. But I do um, keep renewing that membership and donating to them, so they get a little slice of the little slice that I get. And I did some things like I applied with KDOC, the Kansas Department of Corrections, here to be a reintegration mentor. I was never contacted by KDOC. I didn't expect that I would be. That doesn't surprise me, because I am a felon, and it's a fairly recent felony too. I'll give it a shot. I give it a shot for the shot. I was never a huge video gamer, but I do really like first person shooters, especially um, like I never actually have an Xbox One. I have an Xbox One, but I don't know if it even works. But um, before acquiring this Xbox One and then not using it, um, I never upgraded after Xbox 360. But I really liked Battlefield, the Battlefield series. Oh my God, I could play those things on for just for months, forever. Well, I did. It was worth it. Here's the thing: if I hadn't been divorced, or if I hadn't been married, let's see. So we got my ex and I were together 2.5 years when she got pregnant, and then we had the kid. We got married when our daughter was about one, and then I filed for divorce a year later. If we hadn't gotten married, my custody battle would have been a lot harder, because when you file for divorce, it's kind of the whole package. You put custody in with that. You custody, you separate property, blah 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 blah. If we'd just been living in sin or whatever, and I tried to get custody from from the other parent without it being bundled into a divorce, it would have been like, okay, why are you trying to take this custody away? What's changed now? What's been the, like, it just doesn't have the momentum behind it of the existing legal process that is divorce. And this is where the courts are used to seeing custody arrangements come out of. Normally, if you've got two separated parents, or not married parents, fighting over custody, it's because one of them did something fucked up. So the standard of the burden of proof is higher, which it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, I've won sole custody twice as a dad, which is wild. I won it when she was two, then I lost it when I went to jail for a while, and then when I got out, long story short, about a year after, I got it back again. I bet I would like that. I've always been more of a Mortal Kombat guy. I like Scorpion. Scorpion's my dog. Marriage is nothing to hide from. I'll do it again. Oh, that's tight. Where do you live? I'd love to get off the grid more. Hmm. Well, shit, you should be teaching us some stuff. I've started prepping a little bit. Little too late. Ah, I know. And then so much of the research is dead end. It's like not efficient or for whatever doesn't work. I don't know. A lot of the solar panel stuff is bullshit, especially if it's through an electric company on the grid. If you ever get an offer from your electric company to buy into a solar panel farm or some shit so that they can reduce the price of your electricity by going solar, don't ever do it. It's a fucking complete scam. Uh, when I used to be a commercial loan officer, I turned down a handful of these at the corporate level. They're just so unbelievably skeezy, these solar panel companies. Well, then find you a girl who is equally as shallow and uh, unfun. Trust me, they're out there. How does he mentor hunters? Does he teach them to do it? Um, I've been sort of eyeballing a bow for a while. Do you bow hunt? I've never bow hunted, but I'm allowed to, as a felon, I'm allowed to own a compound bow. Um, and it's, you know, I'm allowed to own it. I've heard it's more fun than gun hunting, and um, and it's certainly more useful in the event that everything goes to shit, right? Because you can reuse your arrows and all that stuff. But I don't know what I don't know. I also think it might be something for my daughter to do. Now that we're living through the COVID dystopian present, who's who I think has really been harmed by all this bullshit, the social distancing and the masks and the lockdowns and the don't do this and don't do that and the fear mongering as kids. Um, and my daughter's been homeschooled for we're going into the second semester. Um, now she's 10. Um, and I keep looking for things for her to do, because kids go to school and then they come home. Most of the fucking moms are scared of this or scared of that, and kids hang out on their phones so much more now. You like that? I don't know if you can see that. I got a little tape across my camera there because I'm that guy. But kids don't really get out like they used to. And I think that maybe bow hunting would be something my daughter would like. And then I sort of think like, well, gee, she's awfully like young, and that's kind of like probably some tiring grown ass man outdoors fun shit. But then you know what? My daughter's always been a little savage from the from when she was just a little toddler, and we'd go fishing, and she'd uh, went to the lake with some friends. They had RV and stuff. We'd go down for his the Reed, the patriarch of that family, the Bell family. They sort of adopted us. Um, and when it was Reed's birthday weekend, everybody would pile up and go to the lake for a weekend camping trip, and everybody would drink and fish, and just have a good rowdy time. But when Jordan, my daughter, was, God, I don't know, young, like 4, she'd want to stand on the boat wherever people were fishing. She'd want to be there, and then when you got a fish, she'd want to watch you kill it. A little savage. The first gun I bought myself was a Taurus Judge, which is a 5-shot revolver that can either shoot 45 long Colt or 410 shotgun shells. That was a beast of a gun. It is. It's fucked up, and that's what'll get me worked up more than anything is um, watching parents and schools and healthcare, like everything that should be protecting kids from bullshit is the one subjecting them to bullshit because guess what? Kids are not at risk for COVID. They're not. It doesn't kill them. It didn't hurt them. They don't even know they had it. In my state, I think still to this day, there has been 0 deaths from COVID for people under 20. Yeah, I used to like to piece my own AR-15s together out of parts, and my daughter got to shoot her first gun when she was probably 5 or so. It was an AR-15. We popped it up on the tripod, and she laid down and held the pistol grip and pulled the trigger, and I was behind her so that the butt of the gun could go into my shoulder because she could lay and learn to hold the trigger, but then the butt of that gun was like way the fuck behind her. So that might be a good thing to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to wrap this up. Yeah, we're not there. She spends quite a bit of time with her cousins, really, which is good. But you can't. I mean, you just can't do stuff. If you think about like the places around your town, the businesses or the parks, or whatever people used to do. Like a year ago, if you wanted to figure out something for your kid to do that was social on a weekend, or whatever, like my daughter was in gymnastics. Bull fucking shit. We're sending her to gymnastics now. Like What, she gonna mask in and mask out and wipe down and all that stuff? No. Good morning. I was just about to wrap up this live stream. Hmm. I mean, that's not really wrong, but all right. Any parting wisdom? Thank you for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Either way, please like, comment, and keep being awesome. Thank you, Fiddlesticks.